So I'm driving to work, and I just wanted to record this because I've never thought this before. What is addiction truly? Like, addiction is just the compulsion for something which causes harm, either immediate or long term. And so that's, I think, the most base term of what addiction is. And in that dictionary sense, well, I don't know if that's what's in the dictionary. I can't say I honestly read the dictionary, but addiction is a lot more than what we really think about. Because I was just thinking, I was like, I don't think of myself as an addict to anything, like, because I'm not addicted to hard drugs, right? That's what we, like, a lot of us colloquially think of as an addict, is someone who's addicted to hard drugs or something like that. Obviously, we have, like, work addicts, sexaholics, sex addicts, like, all that stuff. But really, when we take this definition I just thought of, like, or just realized, I don't know, that addiction really is truly just a compulsory need for something which harms you. There's a lot of, like, I have a screen addiction for sure. Look at me recording my fucking insight. I have definitely, I am addicted to cigarettes by that definition, like nicotine. That's not good. Like, I'm addicted to coffee. Like, these are things I feel like I need, and they don't actively help my health. Like, they're not beneficial for my health. Like, coffee is not great for me. Obviously neither is nicotine, and neither is my phone screen. Like, these things are not healthy for the human being, but I find myself compulsory, like, needing them, compelled to have them. That's an addiction. And so, like, reframing this whole idea of addiction for myself has helped me to, like, realize that I am an addict. Maybe this is the thing I felt for a while that there's something I'm missing about myself that's, like, super obvious, that, like, I need to be working on. Because, obviously, like, I've been trying to work on my overall health in general and, like, my psychological healing from trauma, but I've been feeling like there's an element to this. And I gave up, like, alcohol and cannabis, and, like, I felt like I handled those, like, addictions, but I think it goes even beyond. It's even the, like, things I think of as, like, mundane, like, part of life, and that's the, like, insidious part of an addiction like that, right? Like, they're so normalized to, like, to just have your cup of coffee and have a cigarette in the morning. Like, no one thinks of that as addiction, I feel like, and it is. And I guess it doesn't have to be, but I think for a lot of us it turns out to be, and I think that's something I really need to work on. And, like, there's still a huge part of me that does not want to, like, give up coffee or cigarettes or screens, to be honest, for that matter. And I think that's the struggle of addiction. I've never really, like, struggled too hard with addiction myself. I personally believe that there is, like, a brain structure, like, neural pathway or some kind of brain chemistry makeup that, like, makes people have a propensity for addiction. I do think that obviously there are psychological factors at play, but I do think there are also physiological factors at play as well, because I know people who have been through the same things as me, did the same amounts of things as me, and got addicted, and I didn't. And, like, that was just, like, on a physiological level, I feel like. Again, psychology always comes into play with anything like that, but yeah, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to this is like an epiphany moment for me to realize, like, I am an addict in a way, and not to, like, take that on as, like, an identity, but as a label to become aware of the addiction habits. Like, I don't know. I have to start thinking now about, like, do I want to make myself free from addiction from screens, coffee, nicotine? Like, yeah, I do. Like, when I envision a better life for myself, it doesn't include any of those, Like, I'm driving, I'm not paying attention to the phone, but, I don't know. Just, like, it's such a weird revelation to come to, and it's a bit, like, humbling. Not that I guess there is probably some kind of, like, subconscious judgment for, like, drug addicts on my end, even though, like, consciously I don't want there to be. I still, like, somehow must think that I am apart from them, subconsciously, to have, like, I don't know, it's weird examining the subconscious thought at play, because you're not really aware of it until you, like, take the time to really think about it and look at it, addiction is something that we need to destigmatize individually. Like, I mean, obviously it'd be great if we could like publicly do it as well, but I think all of us individually need to really destigmatize addiction and what that really means in our heads. And I think too, like, building that humility and empathy for yourself to realize that you, even though you are not someone who ever really struggled with hard drug addiction, like, you do struggle with an addiction. Like, I think that makes us in turn just naturally more capable of empathy for others that go through that on a more severe level, you know. But I definitely support like all humans, and I think that addiction in general is it's a psychological issue, not a criminal one, you know. It ought not be, in my book, but not doing it, at least. Like, yeah, definitely like manufacturing and selling like hard drugs should be illegal, but I don't think doing them should like be illegal. I think people just need help most of the time. And so that makes me wonder what my own addictions of like screens and nicotine and coffee are, what they're covering, to kind of like really see it like that. Because we know with like hardcore addiction, it's usually covering like pain and trauma. And though I feel like I've examined a lot of my pains and traumas, like, these must be indicators of the hidden like pain and trauma inside of me. Like something, I don't know, my need to be stimulated, my fear of boredom, I don't know. Definitely like probably touching on a desire for like regularness. So I know that like I like morning habits and stuff, so finding something to replace that with could be a good first step in like examining why the addiction exists, like what part of it is it fulfilling for me, like what replacements that are healthier could also fulfill that